Hello, everyone. Welcome to day number 4 of the Money Mindset Makeover Challenge. I'm excited to be sharing my content with you. And for today, the card pull is on clearing debts. Now, this message is meant for those who are on a call with me and also for those who are watching the replay video. Now, what does it say for clearing debts? This card says that your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and avoid future ones as well. So clearing debts, this is the message for all those who are on this call and listening to the replay. So I've got some PowerPoint slides that I'd like to share with you. So please bear with me for a minute and I'm going to be sharing screen. So welcome to day number 4 of the Money Mindset Makeover Challenge. This is the final day for the challenge. And what will we be covering today? Today we'll be covering on how to fill up the abundance check. Now, if you've not downloaded the blank abundance check, you can go over to this link, evelynlim.com/blank abundance check download.jpg. So download this blank abundance check. We're going to be filling up this check during this video session. And if I may have your permission, I'd like to make a great offer to you. If you stay till the end of this session, it's going to be a great offer. So do stay on with me and I'll be excited to share that with you. So we started day 1 of the Money Mindset Makeover Challenge with talking about how we can improve our relationship with money. And the way we can improve our relationship with money is about changing the way we think and feel about money. And one way we can change the way we think and feel about money is by being grateful, is by expressing thanks, feeling that sense of appreciation sincerely through our heart. So counting our blessings, right? Focusing on the things that are going well in our lives and just feeling that sense of appreciation and thankfulness and really connecting with that feeling and experience. And we are going to, when we do that, we will most likely feel better. And in that same space of time, instead of complaining, we are shifted into the experience of joy, just focusing or bringing attention and awareness to the things that are going well in our life. And we'll find that as we shift into this state, our ability to attract abundance simply increases. Now, the abundance check, where did this idea first originate? Now, I'm not sure if it is Jim Carrey who came up with this idea, but he shared his story many years ago. In 1985, he wrote a check of $10 million when he was struggling. So at that time, he hadn't made it, he wasn't famous, and he wrote this check for $10 million and he dated it sometime in the future. Now, 10 years later, he received a check of $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Now, all this time, as the story went, the check that he wrote, the $10 million check, he kept it in the wallet. So this is something that we are going to be doing in this exercise today. And since his story, well, I'm not quite sure whether he was the first one who came up with this idea, but law of attraction coaches talk about writing this check, writing an abundance check. Now, I would also like to put it out there that it does not mean that just because we write this check, a miracle is going to happen. It's not meant to be perceived in that way. Rather, an abundance check is meant as a visual tool to help us be reminded that we've got this vision, we've got this goal, and to work towards that. Now, if after writing this check and we are still feeling like, we've got some blocks, doubts that are in the way, limiting beliefs, then we need to work through that. Clearing the money blocks and our doubts out of the way so that it's a lot easier, less of a struggle to manifest what we do want. Now, I've shared a couple of exercises, right from the start of this challenge, exercises that you can do in terms of clearing money blocks. So this is something that you want to do first or as a start before actually writing down or completing this check. So I just recall when I first joined the bank, I was working in a bank previously. When I first joined the bank, this was one of the first things we were taught, like how do you fill up a check? Now, of course, I get it that these days we don't need to, or rather we can just transfer money just using, just pressing our, or using our mobile phones, and it's not very often that we actually use our checkbook these days. But there's merit to actually using the pen and writing. Like studies have shown that when we actually write down our goals, the chances of success or the chances of achieving our goals is a lot higher. So with this exercise, we are actually taking the effort, taking the opportunity to write down the things that we do want or the amount that we do want and what we hope to give in exchange for the money, right? So how do we fill up this abundance check? Now, for Jim Carrey, he dated his check sometime in the future. But from the things that I've learned and studied, I know that, hey, we're supposed to write it now, okay? So it's your choice. I prefer to write it now because the money is already manifesting. The money is already here, right? It just needs me to follow up with actions to turn that dream, right, or that intention into reality. And when we are cashing check, we already know that the money is already set aside or the money is already available to us. So for date, I would prefer to write now. And then there's a double cross here, letting the universe know that it's to my account, right? It's to be paid to my account. And then paying your name, so spell out your full name, dollars, what's this amount in words, and the amount in figures, cross out all barrier because it's meant for you, right? And a memo, Jim Carrey, I believe he wrote for services rendered, and that's what I like to write as well. And but you can choose to write any other phrases, like for instance, you can write in gratitude for services rendered, or activating the law of attraction, or for like let's say blessings or an affirmation, a power word. You can actually put it on your memo. So this is the front of the check. Now at the back of the check, right, when you're banking in your check, you're writing your name, your account number, and maybe your mobile phone. So you need to do the same, right? And you need to let the universe know that this is your energetic address and the blessings of money and the abundance to come to you. So put down your full name, your date of birth, your physical address, and your mobile number. So anything or any specific details or particulars that identify you, because you want the universe to know that, hey, I'm open to receiving this. And it is to me that I'm asking the universe, I'm making this intention, and I'm going to give my products or offer great value for my services. And this is in exchange for that. So you want the universe to know that please bank this amount or send the blessings my way. And this is the account to bank it in. Now in your journal book, this is something you can write. Now, as you write your abundance check, you can write this phrase down in your journal book, or you can also say it out aloud to activate the money ATM. And this is what you say, like, this amount on your check is already available to me. I'm open to receiving it. May this or something better manifest in my highest good and in the highest good of all. So say it out aloud. And this is just going to be helpful because it's just a reaffirmation that the money is already available to me and I'm open to receiving it. I'm worthy of this. Now you can, after writing this check, put it in your wallet, or you can pin it in on your vision board. Just put it in a place where visually you're able to bring awareness and attention to it. Now I received this comment on my phone yesterday from someone who had watched my video, who was here with me, I believe yesterday, and saying that, you know, she wrote the abundance check a couple of years ago and that didn't quite work for her. I guess my question to her is that, why didn't it work, right? Rather than say that it didn't work, because we know that the law of attraction is a universal law. It's like the law of gravity. It always works. We don't question the law of gravity. And 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 because the law of attraction is a universal law, we don't question it. The only, or the better question to ask ourselves is, why didn't it work? Were there blocks on the way? Did you work through some of the limiting beliefs that you've had? So once again, writing an abundance check does not guarantee that miracles is going to happen. It also means that you need to follow through with actions, whether it is to provide your product or service, to act on opportunities that the universe sent to you, or it could also be about clearing whatever limiting beliefs that you have that is in the way for you. So with this, I've already covered more than 10 exercises since the start of this challenge. We started on day one with the Money Association exercise, journaling to create awareness about what's the current situation is with you in terms of your relationship with money, because you need to know where you are in order to know, in order to have a starting point, right? So that if it is not what you're hoping to experience in your current situation, you need to also have an idea, what would you like it to be? And then send more energy to your dreams rather than your doubts. We also covered on the gratitude journal and what's the purpose, what's the experience of this ideal life or this dream that you're hoping to step into. I also covered on the 3 steps on how to reboot your money energy or your energy system. And this is just going to help you with being in that right space to actually write the abundance check. We also did a tapping exercise yesterday in order to clear some of these blocks and integrate some of the learnings that we did since the start of this challenge. So we've covered more than 10 plus exercises. Now, with the manifestation of your dream, is about what you think you become, what you feel you attract, right? Your feelings, it's what pulls your idea into manifestation, what you imagine you create. So all these are all happening in the metaphysical, right? At the metaphysical level, you're thinking, you're dreaming, you are gaining clarity about what is it that you hope to manifest. In the physical world, right, you need to follow through with actions. And so manifestation is both coming into alignment, right, with what you truly, truly want, and then taking the inspired actions as a result of following through on this goal and dream. Now, manifestation does not just mean that you sit on the couch and you're just thinking and dreaming and not get into action. Even if you want to manifest money, say through a lottery ticket, right? Like buying a lottery ticket and hoping to manifest the money, it's not going to happen just like that. You still need to go out to the store to buy the lottery ticket. So some action is still required on your part. Now, ideas need implementation. So this is something that I have also been telling myself, okay, because you could be having all these ideas, you're sitting on all these ideas, and it could be that the universe is prompting you, there are signs for you to take action, but you just need to follow through. You need to implement some of these ideas. Like I was sitting on all these ideas about relationship with money, thinking, feeling, working, or going through some of these exercises on my own, having all these ideas, but ideas need expression, right? And that's why I thought, it would be a great idea to have more people join me on this adventure, on this journey at the start of this year. So this is the results or the outcome, okay, that you are getting in your financial situation or in the situation that you're in right now. And you're looking at your actions and behavior that is creating all these results, all these outcome. So even let's say, in terms of buying, your buying habits, your spending habits, the actions that you take, if you realize that a lot of it's emotional, So it's driven emotionally, and what is driving all these emotions could be your thoughts, okay, could be things that happened in the past to you. So these are all driving your emotions, and your thoughts and your emotions are driving the actions that you take, which ultimately impacts your outcome. So if you're not having the results or the outcome that you'd like to experience right now, and despite trying different strategies, right, doing, like, you're so busy the whole day, just implementing a whole bunch of strategies, and those are not working as well, then you may want to take a step back and start to trace as to what's the behavior, what's the consistent pattern for you, what's the consistent actions you've been taking, and what's driving all that. What's in the subconscious for you? What's the true, or what's the limiting thought that's really behind all these actions and behavior? And this was how I actually came up with the definition of relationship with money. Okay, so anyway, this is a question that I'm supposed to be asking, fake it till you make it. Like, let's say we want the success, right? We want to have all the money. Do we fake it first till we make it? Well, my preference is to believe it till you become it. So believing it is about working through your beliefs. So scaling up, right? So in terms of working through your beliefs, so maybe like, I'm worth $10 an hour, I'm worth $20 an hour, I'm worth $30 an hour, scaling up in terms of that belief. So you work on this, right? And you work on this upwards. So it's about working on beliefs and embodiment, okay? You can think all you want, but that's not when complete change happens. Now, a complete change happens only when we embody it. So you can feel it in your body. And that's why I like to use tapping, in the sense that sometimes we find that we are so stuck in the same actions, same habits, and it's taking a lot from us to create a new habit. So tapping actually releases some of that stuck and stagnant energy, and creates that space for new actions and new habits to be undertaken. So with the action of tapping, it actually helps us to embody some of the belief change and the learnings that we need to integrate. So when we do that, it becomes a lot easier for the actions to be taken. And with all that, that's how I came to this definition. Your relationship with money encompasses your entire attitude, mindset, beliefs, what you think and feel, and then it ultimately affects the actions you take, the interactions with money, and which then leads to creating an impact on your financial outcome. So when it comes to healing your relationship with money, you need to be specific and identify where the problem is. Now, are you having a money block problem or money leak problem? So this is something that you can ask yourself too. Now, do you know what the difference is between money blocks or money leaks? Now, money blocks is if the money is just not showing up for you. And it could be a belief that you have that, for example, a belief such as, I will never be rich, or I'm never born lucky, opportunities are just hard to come by, money is just not coming to me, or I just believe that money won't ever come to me. So you're totally blocking money, so money is not showing up. Or it could be a money leak issue. Money leak issue could happen when money is coming in, right? But you're leaking, you're spending more than you're saving. Or it could be that you have a belief, right, that says, I'm a poor fund manager, I can't manage my funds, I have an aversion to numbers. So every time I'm looking at spreadsheets, numbers, right, I check out. I just, it is like just beyond me. So that could be a leak that could happen for you. And one of the things that I've actually helped clients work on is a belief that I'm not smart with money. And this can stem from a childhood belief where maybe they didn't do well in math in school, and they kind of developed this idea or this belief that they just suck at numbers. They're just very slow, and math is no good. So whenever it comes to looking at financial statements, budgets, dollars, and all that, they just can't, right? As an adult, now that they don't need to study that in school, but as an adult, they are still checking out. Okay, so this could create a money leak problem. So look at some of the financial behavior that you've been engaged in. And then what's the belief that's driving all these actions and behaviors, as well as your thoughts and emotions? And if it's coming up for you, this energy, this disruption, is there something about the past that has been left unresolved? And is there a need, right, that you had back then that was left unmet? So these are some of the questions that you can ask yourself, because if it is true, then you need to resolve that. Because once you don't, it's going to create an energetic block in your system, which prevents money and abundance to flow to you. And lastly, what in your money personality is driving the way you act, the way you think and feel? Now, for money personality, and we already know this, right? Like we can have 2 kids or 3 kids in the same family, or we have siblings, right? Same set of parents, but brought up in the same way, but different way of thinking and looking at things, and different way of responding to life. So it could be something that is in the personality. So may I invite you on a hot money date with me? And I would greatly appreciate if you can also RSVP and let me know if you'd like to join me. Now, I hear you, right, from day one. Some of you have shared with me some of the beliefs, some of the money stories, your situation. And I hear you, right? You've got beliefs like money is hard to come by, I'm not deserving, stuck in poverty, money is the master, stories like this. And you feel emotional, you feel triggered around money issues. It's hard for you to get into a money conversation. And maybe you've been talking about or discussing finances with your spouse, and you get into a heated arguments, and this happens pretty frequently. Now, it's pretty common, because what I read is that a lot of couples divorce, and the main or the biggest problem is about finances, arguments over money. So you can't get into a money conversation with your spouse, with your partner, or your family member. Or it could be that you can't get into a sales conversation. You find it very difficult to ask to be paid fairly for the services or the products that you provide. And when it comes to handling personal financial matters, it feels hard for you. So you tend to check out. So I hear you about the situation you're in, right? Some of these issues that have come up for you. And now that you are deciding to pay more attention, you realize that, hey, you've been stuck in these patterns for quite some time. So you may have tried tapping, right? And you may be asking, like, why didn't it work before? Or you may have done other forms of clearing work or things that you've tried. Like I had this lady who told me that she's been meditating, but she's still stuck, right? She's still having problems. Now, it could be some of these reasons, and one of it is the fear of facing your true fears. Like you've got really deep fears, but you try to cover it up. You procrastinate, you avoid, or you get vague about it. So it's never quite clear what is truly the issue, because you're just covering it layer by layer, right? It's just very difficult for you to look at what is truly bothering you, and that's because you're feeling vulnerable. So it's the fear of facing your true fears. And you could be stuck in the same habits of doing the same things over and over again, and taking any new action feels so difficult, right? It's so hard for you. So you're not specific enough when it comes to identifying what is truly obstructing you. What is obstructing you emotionally? That feels hard for you. And that's why you've not been specific enough. And some of which could be something related to the past for you. It's your unresolved issues. And it feels painful, right, to think about them. So you're not ready, or you have not been ready to address them, perhaps until now. Or it could be in the collective consciousness. In society, you bought into some of the scarcity beliefs. Like, there's a lot of fear in the environment, and unconsciously you bought into them, right? All these fears about, or beliefs about limitation, right? Resources are scarce, and they're using fear tactics to make you buy something, right? So you bought into some of these scarcity beliefs, and you unconsciously bought into them. So all these is really, things that have stopped you or prevented you from taking the action, right, that would help you the most, that is most effective. So you may be thinking, hey, tapping didn't work. And could it be that you weren't specific enough previously? Or you didn't deal with some of your childhood issues, things that were in the past that still continues to bother you? What is not resolved for you? Or perhaps you've not actually addressed some of these. So I like to also put it out there that you're not alone. And many women I know, or I've helped women from different parts of the world. So I hear some of these issues and situations. So it doesn't matter where you are from, where you come from, the stories, the money stories, the limiting beliefs are almost the same. Now I've got this lady, I was very fortunate to be able to help her last week. And after one session, she was very nice. She let me know that that session helped her tremendously. And she was able to get her new client after months of not being able to have any client inflow or client flow. So that was 2 days after we did that tapping session, and it was only an hour session. Now, I've also shared the story of Sonia. So if you've missed the replay on one of the days, I shared the story about Sonia. Sonia worked through her fear of poverty, and that's how she eventually was able to build her confidence and to go for this contract that was worth $10 million. And that was a government contract that she went for, and she was paid handsomely for that. Then there was also Laura, the story about Laura, which I've also shared. She was, or she still is, someone from the real estate. And this was the sale, the commission that she got. And it was just, we just barely started, right, working together. And she was able to manifest this amount. So as in any hot date, you may be asking like, who, how, what, when, why, where, right? What about this hot date? The information I'm about to share with you, like it's coming up. So why would you want to say yes, right, to this hot money date with me? It's because you want to keep the momentum going. Now, you may have already attended the past few days, and you've started doing the exercises, and you're in this mode, right, of wanting to clear your money blocks. You want to keep the momentum going. Now, clearing may not be a one-time session for you, especially if you've got deep-rooted fears and beliefs. So it's like working out in a gym. It's not a one-time session, right? And in fact, if you want to cultivate a new habit, it takes a couple of sessions. It takes a period, right, for things to be reprogrammed, for things to be embodied, right, for the new energies to be embodied. So you want to keep the momentum going. You're even more aware now about the blocks and leakages that impact your outcome. And rather than do this on your own, by all means, of course, you can do this on your own. But if you're needing more accountability, you need someone to check in on you, you need to have discussions, you want to show up in meetings like this, then definitely do consider joining me. And you want to get more specific on the areas of self-sabotage, right? So maybe you've been feeling that, you've been quite vague about things, right? And you want to dive in, right? You want to work through some of your specific blocks. You want to start 2021 on a more energized slate. And that's exactly what I'm doing for myself, for my own personal challenge. And it would be nice if more of us can work on this together at the same time. So not just with me, you would prefer to have a group date, okay, with a community that supports you, and that is priceless, okay? So you're having the energetic support of a group of participants who are like-minded and also on a journey to working through their blocks and manifesting for a financial breakthrough. Now, this was something that I didn't cover in the last few days, right? Because it's going at a deeper level. It's creating that relationship with money, right? And if we want to start improving the relationship with money, it always has to start with the self. So what in your money personality is driving your financial behavior and patterns? So there are altogether 9 personality types, and which one are you? So in our money dates, in our hot money dates, we're going to be discussing this so that you can understand where the areas of self-sabotage are for you, or to even leverage on your strengths. So mastering any relationship starts with knowing yourself. So it is about covering or knowing your money personality blueprint. So these are the things that I'm going to be covering during our hot money date or money dates together. Okay, mastering any relationship starts with knowing yourself, your money personality blueprint. And then next is to begin with love. Okay, and we're going to use the love language to deepen our relationship with money. So examining money, our relationship with money, and using the love language to lift or to improve our relationship with it. Then it's also about transforming limiting money stories and emotional lack. And we're going to be using the emotional freedom technique to work through some of the blocks and leakages. With a clearer understanding about our money personality and our self-sabotage areas, we're going to release them so that we can undertake new and conscious money habits that potentially can boost your finances. And with this, I am launching this Master Your Money Relationship or Master Your Relationship with Money Mentorship Program. So I've just put this out there, and I'm inviting you to join me in this program. Now, what does it entail? It entails 4 sessions, okay, over Zoom. So we're going to be meeting much like what I've done in the past couple of days. It's a group meeting that we're going to have. Rather than it being one way, like me just sharing the content, I'm hoping that it will be more interactive, and it requires you to put through or apply the exercises. We're going to be meeting approximately around the same time. However, I'm open to change, like the same time slot at this time. However, I'm open to change if the time slot works better at a different time slot for most of the participants. I'm also willing to look at that. But if there's no objection, it will probably be at the same time slot. So for the first 5 participants, get $100 off, and the coupon code is LAUNCH100, LAUNCH 100. Go over to either one of these links, right? If you're going to this link, so be sure to click on Money Relationship Mentorship to get on the right program. And the coupon code is written there. I like to reward fast action takers. So the first 5 participants get $100 off from $222, and that will be $122. So I like to sweeten the deal even more. Is at no risk to you with 100% money back guarantee if you find that you're not learning anything, right? Like, for that those Zoom sessions that are coming up. before the end of 4 sessions, if you feel that you're not learning anything, it's information that is not benefiting you in any way, then you can ask for your money back, and I'm okay with that, because for me, it's about sharing this content, helping you through a change, and I'm just very passionate about helping anyone out there who's facing a block or leak and making that change necessary. But if you find that the information shared is not useful, then you can always ask for your money back. It's no problem. And I just want to make sure that whatever I'm sharing, whatever help that I'm extending, is helpful and useful to you. So once again, these are the links. Now with the community, it's going to be through a private Facebook group. So you're going to be doing the homework assignments, the written assignments, right? Or the accountability is going to be held through the Facebook private group. Now, I get that some of my clients don't like being on Facebook, or for privacy reasons, they just don't like it on Facebook. But Facebook offers a platform, a cheap way, or rather it's an easy way for us to connect, right? For you to hand out your assignments. And so what we can do, or what you can do, is to consider opening up a different account, right? Using another of your email address, open a different Facebook account, and then just using that account to interact on Facebook with us, or with me and the rest of the participants. So a private Facebook group, that's what you can do. And we're also going to be meeting up over the 4 sessions over Zoom. So if the course has helped you in any way, please let me know, because it's just going to be helpful for me to know what are the exercises that have helped you, or what are the specific takeaways that you've gathered from the past 3.5 days of this challenge and course. Now, do you find the exercises overwhelming? Because I have been pretty concerned that it's just too much. So I may, if I get the feedback that is quite many exercises, like you can't catch up and all that, then I'm willing to, or I'm going to take that into consideration. And for my next challenge or course, I'm just going to kind of slow the pace down. I forgot. I wanted to share that why this is 2 weeks later is because I've shared quite like more than 10 exercises over the past few days. And the next 2 weeks is for anyone to catch up on them, right? So you catch up on all these exercises, you've started on them, you've created lists, you've decided that this is what you're going to do for the next couple of weeks, and you're going to get cracking on them. So I'm giving you 2 weeks, a space of 2 weeks to get started working on some of the exercises and the assignments that I've covered in the past few days. And then we're going to start proper after Valentine's Day, right? We're going to continue on with the hot dates, but this time is over chats on money and on how to improve your relationship with money. So thank you for being here with me. It's been my privilege to share the things that I know, things that have helped me personally, and things that have helped my clients. I wish you much success and much love and abundance always.